actual summit. But man, the views are worth it. Just look at that. Amazing. That's why it's totally worth going backpacking and not just doing day hiking, because this is going to be our back door, back porch for the next couple days.
Well, welcome folks to another episode here at Gideon's Tactical. Today we're taking you on an adventure, myself, Aaron, and the crew on our annual backpacking trip. My dad, GT Senior, my brother, Nate, and my buddy, Brian. And we've been doing this for years now. And guys, there's just something special about backpacking in compared to car camping or, you know, just kind of going in a little ways. When you carry all the gear that you're gonna have and you really trek in and you're away from civilization, there's just something super fun, super special about it. We've been doing it for years. We're blessed to live in the Rocky Mountains. In this particular trip, we started out at a lake that was about 8,200 feet, and once we got to camp, it was about 10,006, so it was about whatever the math is on that 2,400 feet incline over about 5 miles, 5 to 5.5 miles. So it was intense. This was an intense backpacking trip, but man, it was a great trail, lots of water crossings. That was like a really fun part about it, was that we were constantly going along this river, creek, you know, that was fed by the lake that we'll end up camping at and that you'll see here in just a little bit. But so we crisscrossed that thing throughout the entire, you know, experience, which was a lot of fun. And that's an important thing, you know, when you're backpacking, you got to have water. You're not going to be able to carry water in with you just enough for that first day in, and then you're going to have, you know, a regular water source nearby. So it was good to have that water right there. My pack being the heaviest because of all the camera gear and everything, I was rocking about 55 to 60 pounds. I weighed it before putting my not my drone, we couldn't take that in where we were going, but all my camera gear and a couple other equipment pieces, and it was like 47 pounds, and I know I added at least 10 pounds if not more, so it was between like 57 and 60 pounds for me. The rest of them were probably rocking about 50-pound packs to 45-pound packs, and yeah, just had a blast, guys, going up in there. And just really enjoying ourselves. And I would encourage you, if you have never done a backpacking trip, to really consider it. I mean, it's gonna stretch you, it's gonna push you a little bit, it's gonna make you rethink maybe some of your systems on what you use, maybe when you go normally car camping or just doing an overnighter somewhere. When you're doing a multi-day backpacking trip, it really makes you rethink what you're gonna carry and how you're gonna carry it, and weight and all that type of stuff. But yeah, I didn't see anybody for several days, which was a lot of fun. Really glad to have my dad up there with us. He's over 60 now, and he's just cruising like nothing, like he always has. So staying fit also is just a big part, you know, of being out there and enjoying the woods. And you know, the healthier you take care of yourself in the short term, the better things will be long term for you. So it's awesome to have my dad up there with us.
This is how you saw when you're kind of tired and you're backpacking. This is expert position.
Oh, really? Pretty relaxed.
As you're about to see here in a moment, we had to do some trail maintenance to help cross a river, and we had the Ichiban saw, 13-inch saw, that really helped out a lot. And you really got to think through your systems when you are backpacking, what's going to help you with certain scenarios. So a saw was vital, and then as well as a saw, taking with us the SE Hungless 2, that was another, you know, key element. Larger knife to delimb things, to do like hacking and to do splitting if need be. Something bigger than just, you know, like a 4 or 5 inch companion blade.
Trail maintenance with the SE2. So just doing a little trail maintenance for the Forest Service. That's what we were just sawing with the Ichiban. Did 2 more. That thing was like so unstable, not worth crossing at all, so we added a bunch of logs to it. And we're all got across except for my dad. GT Senior is coming across. He's the smallest with the lightest pack, so it should be no problem.
So after our treacherous water crossings and hiking in, we made camp at 10,006. Really were enjoying ourselves, having a good time, you know, the first night, and then the first day, just relaxing around camp, really getting to enjoy, you know, the spot that we picked. We were really happy at the edge of the lake, about maybe 100 feet above it, and just were able to really enjoy ourselves rocking KELTY Salida 2s. You know, when we recommend that stuff, it's for a reason, and some Mountain Smith gear as well. We use them and they really work for us. The lake that was feeding the river that creek we were crossing was amazing, gorgeous. We had a moose right where you're looking, and her calf walk across the first night we were there. So that was ultra cool just to see that. Wasn't able to catch it on the camera, but man, that was a lot of fun. Lots of snow too, you know, in the middle of June. Really saw a good amount of snow, and you know, was able to get a lot of good water out of there, and just the scenery. You know, water filtration is another obviously big part, because you can't carry it in for your backpacking trips, guys. So we did the what you're seeing right there is the Survivor Pro. That's a hand pump one you're going to see a review on. We did this Gravity Flow. That was a game changer for us. Gravity Flow is the way to go after years of having to do either hand pumps or the Sawyer Squeeze. Setting up in a Gravity Flow system was mind blowing. So. And then, yeah, just really enjoying time around camp. That's a big part of the backpacking experience for us, is hanging out with each other. We get along really well. We have a lot of the same, you know, ideas, as well as some differences. We have some major differences as well, but just talking, chilling, talking about life and family and everything else is a lot of fun. You know, testing everything out from food and everything else.
I probably would prefer that one.
If you're gonna have a song.
But I mean, I'd eat either one of them. I'd be happy with. I think
and I want to take a brief time out, guys, just to thank you for your support through your views, through your liking these videos, through sharing them to friends and family that you think would also enjoy the content. I just really appreciate it. And using the links that we always offer to you to Amazon and Blade HQ. That's really the driving force of the channel that helps me continue to do what we do here. You know, I purchase over 50% of the gear that you see tested here. The others that are sent in, we always give you full, honest, comprehensive feedback, being truthful to you and giving you pros and cons to that gear. But yeah, without your guys' support of viewership, and without your guys' support of clicking those hyperlinks to Blade HQ and Amazon, when you see a piece of gear that you like, that you're interested in, we get that small kickback and fuels the channel, gives me the income to be able to go purchase more gear. So I thank you guys so much for that. The items that we use in this trip, I will have in the description below in those links, and these are the items that I would recommend to you. These are the things that really help us out when we go backpacking. I'm gonna have everything from the tents to the tarps to the backpacks to the stoves to everything. So if you're interested in going into backpacking and getting started, or maybe just wanting to augment the system you already use, check out those links below over to Amazon. We're gonna have a ton of that stuff in there that I recommend to people who are wanting to get into the outdoors and particularly into backpacking. So again, guys, thank you for your awesome support. And then that's really when we kicked off. On the last day, before we headed out, was a trip up to a peak that was 12,381 feet. And this trek was amazing. Outstanding. Amazing. You know, it was just over about it was like 2.2 miles from camp up to this peak, and going again from 10,006 up to 12,380. So I mean, it was like going up a staircase for a lot of it, but man, was it just like beyond. Words cannot describe the views that you're seeing, and wow, was it just like ridiculous. The drop-offs were insane. That's about, I would estimate, probably 500 to 1,000 feet down to that little lake you're seeing down there. Rocky Mountain National Park out that way that you just saw. And I mean, just look at that. It's hard to describe it. You know, it felt like we were on a National Geographic expedition or something, honestly. And there really is nothing like scaling a peak like we have in the Rockies. You know, probably Alaska and some other states, and maybe parts of Wyoming and Montana, you know, that have attached to the Rockies or the Tetons, but it's really hard to come close to this. And this is like a sheer drop off on either side. You know, that was like 20 feet wide to get to the actual kind of belled out end here to get to the peak. And it was just stunning, guys. There's our geological marker letting us know that we got up to Tonga Peak. Always got to have your survival gear with you, even on a little light day hike like that. You might get stuck up there, you might get lost. Got to have your medical kits as well. Super important. We're going to be doing a little quick video on this in the near future, but please be prepared. Please, please, please. It's part of the reason why we do these videos, is so to give you tools and wisdom so that you can make wise choices to take the right gear up there. Merrell Moabs. Love these non-waterproof versions. Got me up there throughout this entire backpacking trip and using them for a while. Totally dig it. I know you guys like to know some of the gear that gets us up to where we're going. Outdoor research jacket for Rossi. You guys asked me that a lot. Brian, pretending he's on the tip of the Titanic. Leonardo DiCaprio. Brian. And this lake, guys, was super cool. Pond, crystal clear. Crystal clear. Got to, you know, hang out in it. Definitely got our feet numb after about 4 or 5 minutes in that type of, you know, high altitude, high alpine pond. But it was refreshing after a couple of days of no washing, no cleaning, just having a good time, and just relaxing. And that was a big part of the experience. I really wanted to focus on not only creating the content, you know, that we do, but also just enjoying each other's company, playing some Farkle on the way back down after that peak, you know, after getting clean, and just talking and goofing off and having a good time and really enjoying ourselves. And the secondary pond, just as clear. So, I mean, you will see things that few people ever do when you go backpacking. And when you go out there and you're willing to trek for miles and miles and miles, and in locations that are kind of secluded, I mean, you're gonna see a submerged pond like what we're seeing here, like a marsh, you know, that, I don't know, maybe 10 people a year walk across, I don't know. I mean, that whole trek that we just did up to that peak had no trail. We were literally bushwalking it all the way up to the top. Bushwhacking it all the way up to the top. End of trip, hiking out. Obviously way nicer than coming in. Coming down's way better than going up. Going up was brutal. Less than a quarter mile from the car. Very excited about that. We defeated that hill and much more. So far, best backpacking trip we've been on. Sorry, talking to my shoulder. Down to flats finally. We've either been going uphill or downhill for the last 3 days. On day 4, back to the car. Fantastic though. Totally worth it. Great time. I really hope this little video just inspires you to get out there, enjoy creation, man. And it was awesome not having cell phone coverage, and a couple of us just left our phones at home. It was great.
one with nature. Peace out, guys.